Welcome to your coverage of Missoula's sports heroes. You're tuned in to the Missoula Prep Sports Network live stream of local sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen.
This presentation of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness, the only gym from Montana for Montana.
Check it out.
MPSN is your leader in Missoula's prep sports.
Woo!
Now take you to the action on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Everybody hustles out there, okay, guys? Nobody quits.
Hello, folks, and welcome into the Missoula Prep Sports Network's coverage of Missoula Mavericks Baseball. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we get set to go here with the Missoula Mavericks taking on Premier West out of Colorado for the first game of the 2019 Camping World Classic here in Rapid City. Let's go ahead and jump into our starting lineups for today's game. Starting off with the Mavericks, who are the designated visitors. Brendan Hill in center field to lead things off. Dane Frazier will bat in the number 2 spot. He's in right field. Trad Richardson's at third base. As I get our scoreboard ready here for the game. Trad Richardson's at third, batting in the number 3 spot. Stuart Long, the shortstop, bats fourth. Bridger Johnson, the left fielder, as Brendan Hill comes to the plate. Bridger Johnson batting fifth. Batting sixth is Drew Stensrud at first base. The designated hitter, Thomas Martin, will bat seventh. Batting eighth is Andrew Clausen, the catcher, and Dayton Bay at second will lead things off. It's Zach Hengus on the pitcher's mound for the Mavericks. Right now it's Trevor Abernathy for Premier, ready to go as we have our first pitch ready to be delivered. And the first pitch is going to come in for ball one. First pitch is at 8:56 a.m. So we're getting an early start here, and we've got as the weather comes up here for me, as we bring in strike one, 1-1 to Hill. Rapid City, we've got 77 degrees with a 79% humidity. 1-1 on the count for Hill. For Premier, as this one's fouled off to bring up strike two. For Premier, it's DeMarcus Ortega in right field to lead things off. Kyle Tooley is the shortstop, batting second. Here's the pitch, and it's upstairs to bring us to 2-2 on the count. Vance LeConte, the third baseman, will bat third. Batting fourth is Joey D. Camillus, the first baseman. Marcus Burton, center field, bats fifth. This one's right over the pitcher's head, and Hill will find himself at first base to lead things off for the Mavericks. Bryce Barday, the second baseman, bats sixth. Batting seventh is Marino Guerrero, the designated hitter. Matt Verdugo is the catcher, batting eighth, and batting ninth is Phil Joseph. So that takes us to Dane Frazier with one on and no outs here. And on the commercial break, we're going to switch up our internet feed here and get you a stronger feed. Here's the first pitch to Frazier, and it's going to be upstairs for ball one. 1-0. Abernathy with the pitch, and that's going to come inside, and Frazier will have 2-0 on the count. So we are at Dave Blythe Field in Rapid City, and this is a special field as Blythe was the coach for Rapid City for 50 years. Upstairs, and Frazier will have ball 3-0 on the count to the right fielder. Trad Richardson in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. They're coming off a road sweep of the Billings Royals. And this one gets away from the catcher. Ball 4 will draw a walk, and the Mavericks will have runners at first and second to start the game. That'll send Verdugo out to check in with Abernathy. as Trad Richardson gets ready to bat. Camping World Firecracker Classic here in Rapid City. Mavericks annual 4th of July tournament. They come down here to Rapid, and it's a fun one. This is the second year I've been here for the tournament, and the tournament hosts are always a great group of people. As Abernathy readies for the first pitch to Richardson. Richardson will take it for ball 1. 1-0 to Richardson. Mavericks 10-1 in conference play after 3 wins. They're going to go ahead and send Hill, and no throw will be made as we get ball 2. So Brendan Hill with the stolen base, dragging Frazier along behind. And runners at second and third with a 2-0 count to Richardson. Here's the pitch, and it's going to come back inside for ball 3, 3-0. It is a humid day here in Rapid, and they said that this year, as we get strike 1 to Richardson, they said this is abnormal weather for Rapid City this time of year. They've had quite a bit of rain. Foul ball will bring up a full count at 3-2 for Richardson. Beautiful sunny skies overhead. It's going to be a great week. The Mavericks are here from today until the 4th of July, as Richardson's going to be walked to load the bases. That'll bring us to the shortstop, Stuart Long. No outs and loaded bases for the Mavericks.
Shortstop, number 2, Stuart Long.
And that will bring out the pitching coach, as the infield will come in and discuss the situation with loaded bases right out of the gate. And we'll have the schedule for the Mavericks up on the MPSN website. I apologize, I did not get that up there yesterday. It was a long travel day in the car, so we didn't get to putting the schedule for the Mavericks up, but we'll have that up this afternoon. The Mavs are going to Mount Rushmore. I'm going to tag along and get some pictures of family and the Mavs at Mount Rushmore this year, as I did last year. It's a fun tournament. The parents coming in, and parents always have fun with this tournament as well. So we're ready for Stuart Long with loaded bases and no outs. Here's the first pitch to Long, and he'll take it outside for ball 1. Brendan Hill at third, Dane Frazier at second, and Trad Richardson at first, as the wild pitch will bring Hill home, and the Mavericks will have a run with runners at second and third now, and it's 2-0, or 1-1, I apologize, to Long. And a roller will put Stuart Long at first, and Dane Frazier will score.
The RBI base hit brings up the left fielder, number 10, Bridger Johnson.
And we'll have strike 1 to Bridger Johnson. Here's Johnson up to the shortstop. The throw to second, down the line to first. It'll be ahead of Johnson. The double play will be turned, but the Mavericks will score Richardson, and The bases are cleared. With 2 outs.
Batting now, number 5, first baseman Drew Stenrud.
Brings up Drew Stensrud now for the Mavericks as we update our information here. And Stensrud will take the first pitch at ball 1. Stensrud hanging out at first in game 1. This will bring up a ball. So 2-0 to Stensrud. Pitch on the way, and Stensrud will take it for ball 3, 3-0. It is Thomas Martin in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks, the number 7 spot batter. Abernathy now with the pitch. And back outside, and Stensrud will be walked to put a runner at first. Takes us to Thomas Martin, the designated hitter for the Mavericks.
And the walk brings up number 8, the designated hitter, Thomas
2
Martin.
outs. Stensrud at first. Here's the pitch to Martin, and he's going to crank this one foul down the third base line for strike 1. Stensrud leaving on motion. Here's the pitch, and Martin will let it go for ball 1. 1-1 on the count to Thomas Martin. Here's Martin's shot, and the shortstop will step on second, and that will be the inning. So the Mavericks earn 3, leave 1, and we go 3-0. Bottom of the first, right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Warning, warning.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now, whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning, warning. This is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half-price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Stitches of Missoula is your resource for embroidery and screen printing. Give Stitches a call today at 406-529-2632 to speak with their super friendly staff and have them take care of your embroidery needs. From business logos to team jerseys, Stitches Embroidery can help you and your team look good. Check them out online at stitchesmontana.com to see their full line of silkscreen and embroidery options. Stitches is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning, Mavericks lead 3-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, and it is Zach Hangus on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound. For the Premier West, it is DeMarcus Ortega, the right fielder. As custom with new teams, I always go down and ask name pronunciations, as Hangus is going to deliver strike 1 right out of the gate. And I asked one of the parents, and it was Ortega's family that I asked, as this one bounces down the line, picked up by Richardson. A shot to first. Stensrud sticks the bag, and the ground out will be the first out of the inning for Premier. Takes us to Kyle Tully with 1 out and nobody on.
The out brings up the shortstop, number 25, Kyle Tully.
Tully settles in, and Hangus with the pitch. Here's a shot into right field, and Dane Frazier with a one-step catch on the line drive will be out in number 2. Two away. Takes us to Vance
Third baseman,
LeConte.
Vince LeConte.
Pitch on the way. And Hangus will deliver over the plate for strike one. Hangus has been a lot of fun to watch this year. His first year with the Double-A squad for the Mavericks, as this one comes across the chin for ball one. 1-1 on the count. 2 outs, nobody on. A foul ball off of Clausen's helmet will bring up strike two. 1-2. A reach. Hangus will pick it up off the bounce. Jogs to first. Stensrud is there, and that is the side. 1-2-3 for Premier. We'll be back with the Mavericks batting in the top of the second. You're watching Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. As we come to the top of the second inning, we'll have the bottom of the order, 8-9 batters. Andrew Clausen, the catcher, to lead things off for the Mavericks. Mavericks lead 3-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, and Trevor Abernathy in the Five Valley Autos pitcher's mound. The rulings for this tournament, as Abernathy will deliver over the plate for strike one. 8-run rule after 4.5 innings or 5 complete. 15-run rule after 2.5 or 3 complete innings, as this one is fouled into the netting for strike two. 0-2 to Clausen. American Legion pitching rules apply. Tiebreakers head-to-head first, runs allowed per inning second, and runs scored per inning played, and then last, coin flip. And Clausen will be struck out.
Number 1, Dayton Bay.
Taking us to Dayton Bay with 1 out. Bottom of the order for the Mavericks. And Bay lays down the bunt. It rolls foul, and we'll have strike one. And that has been Bay's strength this year. Batting at the bottom of the order. I have dubbed him the bunt killer, as he has laid down some beautiful bunts. And this one's taken high into center field. Center fielder will drop back a couple of steps, and it's in the glove. And the pop out will bring up out number 2. Swings us to the top of the order. Brendan Hill for the Mavericks.
Back to the top of the order,
as the cotton comes
3,
into
Brendan Hill.
The press box here. Hill walked his first singled his first at bat. Here's the pitch. And he's going to punch this one high over first base. First baseman is there, backs up, and with a diving catch, puts it in the glove, and that'll be the side. So the Mavericks go 1-2-3 in the top of the second. We'll have Premier batting next on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by Five Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, Five Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. Five Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN.
Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is Missoula's one-stop shop for all your hockey and lacrosse needs.
Check this out.
It may be warm outside, but you can still take care of your hockey fix in their 1/3 sized indoor rink.
Really? Wow, crazy.
Stop in to 1010 North Avenue West and see what they have in store for your hockey needs. Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we move to the bottom of the second. Mavericks lead 3-0, and it is Joey DeCamillis at the plate for Premier with Zach Hangus on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound. First pitch is a ball to DeCamillis, and this time Hangus will strike the plate for strike one, 1-1. Tomorrow, Sunday, June 30th, the Mavericks will have the 11:30 game against Terre Haute out of Indiana. Monday will be a 2 o'clock game against Eden Prairie as strike 2 is called. Tuesday's a doubleheader, July 2nd for the Mavericks as they'll take on Rocky Mountain at 4:30. And a ball brings us to 2-2 on the count. 4:30 Rocky Mountain versus Missoula, and then the 7 o'clock game is against the host team, Post 22. And a swing will strike out the batter for the first out of the inning. And there's a fireworks show on Tuesday night after the game.
Center fielder, number 12,
And then
Marcus
Wednesday
Burton.
it is against Catalyst Cardinals as this one's punched high into right field. Dane Frazier will run up on it, puts it in the glove, and Marcus Burton will be out on the pop fly to right field. And then Thursday, July 4th, that's the seeding game. 9 o'clock is the 5th place game. 11:30 is third place, and 2 p.m. is the championship game. We come to Bryce Barday for Premier with 2 outs and nobody on. And Barday will partake in a swing for strike 1. And we'll get strike 2. Oh and 2, pitch fouled off.
Return all foul
Keeps
balls to the
Barday
ticket booth.
in line. One and 2 on the count now with the ball pitch by Hangus. This one swung on and into the netting for a foul ball to keep us at 1 and 2 for Barday. Barday batting in the number 6 spot. He's the second baseman. Here's a shot. Hangus is going to let Stensrud come in. It's in the glove, and that's the side. So 1, 2, 3 for Premier. We'll be out. We'll be back in just a moment with the top of the third. You're watching Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Hello folks, Chris Stratton here. You know me as the voice of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. I'm here to announce that the Milk Crate Media will be launching their newest project, the Chris Stratton Show podcast. That's right, folks. We're going to take our play-by-play coverage and bring it into the studio to give our student athletes in Missoula a voice to tell their stories. It'll be launching on July 15th on the Milk Crate Media Network, and you'll be able to find it at thechrisstrattonshow.com as well as any of your outlets for podcasts. Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we move to the top of the third with Dane Frazier leading off the inning for the Mavericks.
Right fielder, number 7, Dane Frazier.
Frazier settling in. He was walked his first at-bat. And an outside pitch will bring up ball 1 to Dane. Dane with his third home run of the season on Thursday night against the Royals, as he'll let this one come in for ball 2. 2-0 on the count. And this one will get away from the catcher for ball 3. 3-0. And Frazier will be walked for the second time
The walk brings
today.
up the third baseman, number 13, Trad Richardson.
Takes us to the third baseman, Trad Richardson. And Richardson will receive strike 1. Frazier's going to go ahead and pick up the base at second on the pitch. Abernathy with the pitch and a swing. Bounces to the third baseman. He'll bobble it. The throw to first is high. And Richardson will reach. We'll hold to see if they're going to call that one an error. So that takes us to
number 2, Stuart Long.
Stuart Long, and they are going to call that. We're going to hold for a moment for Richardson's play, as they haven't updated here. Richardson at first, and they are going to call it an error. And a high pitch. What's that? I did, yeah. So 1-0 to Long. And now we get strike 1 to Long. Stewart singled his first at bat for the Mavericks. Runner's going to go. Pitch is going to be over the plate for strike 1, and Trad Richardson will stand at second on the stolen base. 1-2 on the count. Breeze coming up here in Rapid. Here's Abernathy with the pitch, and a swing will strike out Stuart Long. One out now for the Mavericks in the top of the third as we get Bridger Johnson. And an inside pitch will bring up ball 1. Pitch on the way. And the pitch gets away from the catcher. That's going to bring home Frazier, with Richardson moving to third. And the Mavericks lead 4-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 2-0 on the count to Johnson. Here's the pitch. Outside. It's on the plate, though, as our umpire says strike 1. 2-1 on the count. Our officials, as I did not get that at the top of the game for you guys, and I apologize, as we come to strike 2. 2-2 on the count. Behind the plate, it's John Whitcraft and Joe Drab in the field. Here's a pitch inside to bring us to a full count at 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch by Abernathy. And Johnson's going to take this one into left field as it bounces. Richardson will come home from third. And the Mavericks will add a run to make it 5-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And that will bring out the pitching coach. This is visit number 2, so we'll see if this is a straight visit or if there is going to be a possible change. So a quick review on our schedule here in Rapid City as I bring it up. Today we've got Premier West, and it looks like it is a pitching change. So we'll go ahead and step aside as we make our adjustments on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Mavericks lead 5-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Thank you. What's that? Boboli. We're going to go ahead and keep it right here. I apologize for not jumping to break there as we make our adjustments. It is Cole Boboli on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound for Premier now. So let's take a look at Abernathy. For Abernathy, 2 1/3 innings. He'd have 48 pitches, 24 of them over the plate, 5 runs, 4 of them earned off of 3 hits, struck out 2, walked 4, did not hit anybody, and on the game finished with a 12 ERA. So we'll have the new pitcher facing Drew Stensrud, Cole Boboli.
Number 24, Cole Boboli.
So Boboli will settle in. As Stensrud comes to the plate. Drew Stensrud walked his first at bat. Bridger Johnson at first. 1 out on the board. Stensrud settles in, and Boboli with his foot on the rubber. Here's the right-handed pitch. And that'll come in low for ball 1. So Boboli will inherit 1 runner on as he comes in. Here's the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 2. 2-0 on the count to Stensrud. Stensrud walked his first at bat. This one will be over the plate for strike 1 for Stensrud. 2-1 on the count. It's Thomas Martin in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks, with a runner at first and 1 out. 2-1 to Stensrud. Boboli with the stretch and set. And a swing will foul off to give us an even count at 2 apiece. 2-2. The stretch and set. And a swing. Stensrud sends this one into left field. Left fielder can't get a glove on it. It's rolling to the wall. It's Johnson. They'll bring him around. He grabs a gear at third, and the throw is made. Stensrud will stand at second, and the Mavericks will earn a run off the shot into left field.
The RBI double brings up the designated
So
hitter,
the
number
Mavericks
8,
now
Thomas Martin.
lead 6-0 as Thomas Martin comes to the plate with Drew Stensrud at second. Martin, the designated hitter. He got some good play in Billings in the outfield. As the first pitch to Martin will be ball one. And for Martin, he fought and battled to get that second base spot, but with changes to the team in a variety of ways, he has been put in outfield in a new position, and he's played well there when he has been out there as we get ball two now to Martin. 2-0. Martin with a ground out his first at bat. He's also a pitcher for the Mavericks. We've seen him in a couple of games. Hasn't had a full game yet, as we'll bring up ball three to Martin, 3-0. Gorgeous day here in Rapid City as the sun is out. It's supposed to gradually get cooler as the week goes on. Here's the pitch. And here's the 3-ball strike. 3-1. Andrew Clausen in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks with 1 out, 1 on. Here's the 3-1 by Bobelli. And a swing by Martin will take us to a full count at 3-2. Here's the pitch. Runner's going to go. Stensrud, as this one's hopped over the shortstop's head. They'll bring around Stensrud as the ball's picked up in center field, and Martin will bring home Stensrud for the Mavericks off the little hopper into center field.
The RBI single brings up the catcher, number 14, Andrew Clausen.
Takes us to Andrew Clausen for the Mavericks with 1 out and a runner at first in Martin. Bottom of the order in the on-deck circle. Here's the first pitch to Clausen, and he'll take ball one. 1-0 with Dayton Bay in the on-deck circle, and what a week Dayton Bay's had. I'll get to that when he comes to the plate. Bobelli now to Clausen, who will foul it back, and we're even on the count at 1 apiece. Clausen with a swing will foul it back into the catcher, and we go to 1-2 on the count. Clausen with some big shoes to fill, the young man, as he steps into that catcher position, and this one gets away. The first baseman lays on top of Martin, but he'll get up and the run to second off the air. And we'll have 1-2 to Clausen. 1 out, 1 on. Top of the third. Here's the pitch, and a swing will bring up the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Clausen. And we'll have 2 outs.
Strikeout brings up second baseman number 1, Dayton Bay.
Takes us to the bottom of the order to Dayton Bay, and well, Bay making the trip to Billings with the Mavericks Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the pitch by Bobelli, and Bay's going to lay down the bunt. A beautiful bunt. Runner will advance. Here's the throw to first, and Dayton Bay will have the base on the bunt.
That nice bunt brings us back
to the top of the order to Brendan Hill for the Mavericks. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. Here's the pitch by Bobelli. And Hill sends this one into the gap. It's going to fall in the glove of the center fielder, and that will retire the side. Mavericks earn 4, leave 2, and we go to the bottom of the third. Mavericks 7-0. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 55 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Did your computer go down? Don't worry. Mike's Print and Copy has computer rentals available until you can get your computer replaced. In addition to computer rentals, Mike's has self-serve copiers so you can take care of your printing needs at your time. Do you have large-scale printing that needs to be done? From high-tech blueprints to large quantities, Mike's Print and Copy is your print store. Stop in and say hi to Mike at their new location at 1605 South Avenue West in Missoula. Mike's Print and Copy, proud sponsors of the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Bottom of the third, Mavericks lead 7-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, and it is Mariano Guerrero for Premier West. The first pitch by Zach Hangus from the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound is a strike 1, 0-1. This one's sent out, picked up by Long. The throw to first, Stensrud is there, and the bag is stuck. We've got 1 out. In the bottom of the third. Takes us to number 8 spot batter, number 7 Matt Verdugo.
Number 7, the catcher Matt Verdugo.
So Verdugo, stay right here with it though. Here's the pitch to Verdugo, and it's over the plate for strike 1. And talking to the parents before the game for Premier, they were saying that you got to keep an eye on Verdugo as Hangus is going to deliver strike 2, 0-2. Verdugo leading the charge for Premier as we get ball 1 across the shoulders, 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Hangus with the pitch. This one gets banged foul high, and we go stay at 1-2. Here's the pitch. And a swing foul. Keeps us at 1-2. Mavericks with 7 runs off of 6 hits, leaving 3 behind in the first 3 innings. Premier battling the errors as they have 2, as this one continues to go foul and Verdugo continues to battle. He is the catcher. Bottom of the order in the on-deck circle, Phil Joseph. As this one's going to roll down the third baseline foul, and we stay at 1-2. Excuse me. With the cotton in the air, the allergies just jumped up. I apologize. Here's a roller picked up by Long. He's going to bobble it, picks it up. The throw to first is not in time, and the runner will reach off the air. And the Mavericks will have their first error
now batting for Premier West
of the game. Brings up the bottom of the order, Phil Joseph.
Number 39, Phil Joseph.
Hangus checks the runner at first, pitch on the way, and this one's over the plate for strike 1. Okay. Here's the swing, and that'll bring up strike 2, 0-2. I was just informed that there's going to be some excitement Tuesday night here. Besides the fireworks, it sounds like we might have a helicopter coming in on the field. But we'll pause, and I'll update that as we get it. This one's down the third base line, out of play, foul, and we'll go to 0-2 on the count. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the order at the plate. Ortega in the on-deck circle for Premier. Here's the pitch and a swing. This was going to roll out. Long will have to backpedal. The throw to first, and Stensrud is there. They say out number 2 on the ground ball. Hangus tried to get to it, but that one had just a little bit too much spin on it. And that will bring us to the top of the order. And they're going to bring in a runner now.
Now batting for Premier West.
For
batter, number 33,
Verdugo,
Ortega.
as DeMarcus Ortega comes in, and I think it's number 2 out there running, Jackson McLean for Premier, trying to earn a run here in the bottom of the third, as Hangus is going to deliver outside for ball 1. For Ortega, it was a ground out, his first at bat. Runner at second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch by Hangus. And a swing will bring up strike 1. 1-1 on the count. So the Mavericks back in action tomorrow, 11:30. It is the first game of the day. 11:32, 4:30, and 7 are the times for games tomorrow, as this one will come in for ball 2, 2-1. To Ortega. 5 games today, and then the rest of the week is 4 games, except for 4th of July when they have the placement games. Here's the throw to second. They're going to have the down the line, and the tag will end the side. The stolen base picked off, and we go to the top of the 4th. Mavericks leading 7-0. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Coming this summer, Milk Crate Media 406 will be the home to a new group of local podcasts to highlight our great state of Montana and the people within it. Starting with a local show to promote Missoula sports athletes. Next, a podcast that will take a look at worldviews. Then a show that will entertain you while informing you about Montana's great outdoors. And finally, a podcast that will take a look at the people and places that make Montana great. Stop by mcratemedia.com to see the full line of new podcasts.
When your workout window is small, you don't want to travel far, wait for parking, and hope for an open machine. Let Fuel Fitness and Nutrition ignite your life with no waiting. Fuel has plentiful parking and 30,000 square feet of weight and cardio training equipment. When you want it, you'll get it at Fuel. Businesses don't hesitate to sign up with Fuel. We have enough parking and equipment to handle your entire staff and 24/7 access so they can get in shape around work schedules. Ignite your life with no waiting at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition in the Holiday Village Shopping Center.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network, as we have the top of the 4th inning. Mavericks lead 7-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And it is Dane Frazier leading off for the Mavericks. So 2, 3, 4 on the schedule for the Mavericks, with Cole Bobelli, his first full inning of duty on the 5 Valley Pitchers mound. So I was just informed, excitement for our game on Tuesday night against Post 22. We have a 4:30 game against Rocky Mountain, as the first pitch of the inning is delivered over the plate for strike 1. And then at 7 o'clock, we play the host team, Post 22. Well, they've got a special thing for the first pitch of the game, as they're going to have a helo bring in, as Frazier sends this one to the third baseman. Can't get a glove on it. Frazier trots to first, and we'll see if they're going to call that a foul or error, or if it is a hit. And they are going to call that a hard hit ball.
Number 13, Trad Richardson.
So Frazier will get on with the single, with Trad Richardson coming to the plate now for the Mavericks. So for the first pitch on the 7 o'clock game on Tuesday night, as Richardson takes this one high, foul for strike 1. They will have a helo bring in the person that's throwing the first pitch. They'll have first pitch, and then we'll play the game against Post 22, and then after the game, it's the fireworks show. So lots of excitement. Here's Richardson with a deep shot into right field. It's got lots of leg. It is gone! Trad Richardson with the bomb. 2-run, and he's got his second home run of the game. Richardson blasts one into right field. It's 393 to the gaps in right and left field. 325 down the third base line and 330 down the first base line. And Richardson split right field and put it over the fence. The Mavericks lead 9-0. This one's hit right into the pitcher's glove. The line drive will be the out for Stuart Long. 1 out. Brings up Bridger Johnson now for the Mavericks.
Bridger Johnson.
And Johnson will take a slice for strike 1. Here's the pitch. And a swing. This one's punched up high infield down the first base line. Second baseman will come in, and he can't put it in the glove. And Bridger Johnson's going to reach off the air. And the Mavericks will have a runner at first. It takes us to the first baseman, Drew Stensrud, with 1 out, 1 on, and the first pitch to Stensrud's outside for ball 1, 1-0. For Stensrud, it was a walk his first at bat and then a single in his second. Here's the pitch and a swing, foul ball. 1-1 on the count. And Stensrud has proven to be a utility player. Has some work to do, always. Whenever you're an athlete, no matter what you do in life, you always strive to improve, and that's what Stensrud is doing as he sends this one over the third baseman's head. Left fielder will pick it up, and the single will put runners at first and second with 1 out. Takes us to Thomas Martin now for the Mavericks.
Thomas Martin.
Runners at first and second, and the coach for Premier is going to come out and check in with Bowbelly, and that would be Tyler Ehlers, and that will retire the pitcher as the new pitcher comes in from the bullpen. So we will step aside this time for the new pitcher. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by Five Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, Five Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. Five Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN. Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Welcome back to MPSN as we've got a new pitcher on the Five Valley pitcher's mound. It is Jackson McLean. On the Five Valley pitcher's mound for Premier West. Mavericks with runners at first and second with one out. It's Thomas Martin coming to the plate for his action here in the top of the fourth. Mavericks are in 3 runs in the first, 4 in the third, 2 so far here in the fourth to make it 9-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Martin settling in. He had a ground out and a single his first 2 at-bats. Here's the first pitch by McLean, and it'll be across the nose for ball 1. McLean using all of that third base side of the rubber on the Five Valley pitcher's mound as Martin will swing for strike 1. I apologize, folks. The cotton has been floating, and I did not take any allergy medicine this morning, but we'll get through the game. Here's the pitch by McLean, and Martin will swing for strike 2. 1-2 on the count to Thomas Martin. And the Mavericks only have 1 out on the inning, so I got excited on the buttons here. 1-2. And that one tags Martin in the shoulder. He'll get the base off the hit by pitch. And that loads the bases with 1 out. As we get Andrew Clausen, the catcher.
And the hit batter is up number 14. The catcher.
So the Mavericks get loaded bases with 1 out. Andrew Clausen, the catcher, with a good opportunity here. Here's McLean with the first pitch, and it's upstairs for a ball 1. And we'll get ball 2 now to Clausen. 2-0 to Clausen, who was struck out swinging his first 2 at-bats, and this will bring up ball 3, 3-0 to the catcher. Bottom of the order in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Here's the pitch, and it'll bring up strike 2. So strike 1, 3-1 on the count to Clausen. Top of the fourth, Mavericks lead 9-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, and here's strike 2 to take us to a full count. So Clausen taking the pitches. Bottom of the order in the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-2. And it's a walk to bring home Bridger Johnson. Bases stay loaded as Dayton Bay, and they're actually going to bring in Parker Stevens to run for Andrew Clausen.
And the walk brings up the second baseman, Dayton Bay.
As the bottom of the order, Dayton Bay comes to the plate. So they bring in Parker Stevens to run for Clausen. That way the catcher can get his gear back on, as Bay will take a swing for strike 1. Loaded bases for the Mavericks here in the top of the fourth. As this one's fouled off. Comes down hard on the building to the right of us. And we're 0-2 to Bay. Low pitch brings up ball 1 for Dayton Bay. It's been a busy week. He had Mavericks games in Billings on Wednesday and Thursday. Hopped in the car with Dad after the game on Thursday. Drove back to Missoula. Did the old did the quarterbacks camp with Marty Mortonwig on Friday. And then jumped in the plane and flew back here to Rapid City to play today. Here's Bay. This one's punched high over the pitcher's mound, and it's in the glove for out number 2 on the inning. Runners holding on bases, loaded.
The pop-up brings up the center fielder, number 3, Brendan Hill.
So we swing to the top of the order to Brendan Hill. So for the Mavericks, the first 3 batters in the order are part of the home run club, as the first pitch into Hill will be ball 1. Brendan Hill with the in the park home run at Lindbergh Craig Field. He is probably one of the fastest guys I've seen for the Mavericks organization since I've started. I mean, Nick Jovetic was fast, but Hill, his gears are set for speed as this one comes in, and they're going to say strike 1. It looked like it was on the belly, but they'll say 2-1 on the count. Here's the pitch, and we'll get ball 3. 3-1 to Hill. But Hill with a home run. Richardson you just saw with a shot over the wall earlier. He's got 2. And Hill is walked. That will bring home a runner from third and Drew Stensrud. And the Mavericks take a 10-0, 11-0 lead on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. We go to Dane Frazier now, who is the 3rd member of the home run club for the Mavericks. He's got 3 on the season. And he's going to power this one foul down the first base line, high and shallow. It'll be strike 1. Stensrud had a good stroke on the ball in Billings on Thursday night in the second game to pick up his 3rd home run, as this one slides across the plate to bring up 0-2 on the count to Frazier. Frazier, back-to-back walks, his first 2 plate appearances, and then a single on his last. Here's the pitch, and he'll let it come in to get ball 1, 1-2 on the count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, and we get 2-2. So Jackson McLean on the 5 Valley pitcher's mound for Premier West. They were here last year, and they were a fun group to be around for the tournament as we build to a full count of 3-2 to Dane Frazier. Very dangerous position for Premier with loaded bases and a home run hitter at the plate. Runners are going to move. The pitch is punched up high, and it's going to be in play for the catcher. He searches for it and cannot find it, and that'll bring up a foul ball as runners will retake their spots, and we hold at 3-2. 3-2, loaded bases. Trad Richardson standing in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Here's the payoff pitch to Frazier. Runners on the go. And a walk will bring home Thomas Martin. And the Mavericks will add a run to make it 12-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And that will bring out the pitching coach. And he looks to the bullpen as they have been warming up another pitcher, and Premier West will have another pitching change. We'll be back right after this with a new pitcher on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by 5 Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, 5 Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. 5 Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN. Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Welcome back to MPSN as we move to a new pitcher for Premier West. It is Cameron Abeda with Trad Richardson coming to the plate. 2 outs, top of the fourth. Loaded bases for the Mavericks, and for Richardson, his last at bat, he pumped one over the fence in right field. So I'm sure with the new batter, the Premier West coaches wanting to make sure they had a fresh arm to throw, and it looks like they'll bring up a ball on the first pitch to Richardson. So Richardson, and walk, an error, and a home run, 2-run homer. And this one's over the plate for strike one. 1-1 on the count. So the Mavericks back in action on Sunday tomorrow, 11:30 versus Terre Haute. Here's the pitch, and those boys were on target last year. They were one of the premier teams in the tournament as we get 2-1 on the count. A swing by Richardson takes us to an even count at 2-2. Frazier at first, Hill at second, and Stevens at third for Clausen as we go upstairs to get a full count at 3-2 to Richardson, the third baseman. Runners move on the payoff pitch, and Richardson will swing to be struck out for the final out of the inning. He struck out swinging, and will move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Mavericks lead 12-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard.
5 runs.
We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Some changes in life are too painful to go through alone, and Cunningham Law can help in making difficult decisions from divorce to child custody. Kyle Cunningham focuses solely on family law. Cunningham Law will help you land on your feet when big changes come to your family and life. Visit www.familylawmontana.com or give Kyle a call at 406-203-4678 today. Cunningham Law Services. You don't have to go through this alone. Cunningham Law is a proud sponsor of the Northwest Regional Tournament.
If you're looking to upgrade your car, stop by 5 Valley Auto Sales. From the moment you walk through the door, you'll be in for the best car buying experience ever. From their large inventory to their experienced staff, 5 Valley Auto Sales is committed to helping you find the right car for you. View their featured vehicles online at www.5valleyautosales.com or stop by their location at 3300 South Reserve Street in Missoula. 5 Valley Auto Sales is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on MPSN.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we have the first pitch of the inning delivered to DeMarcus Ortega by Zach Hengis from the 5 Valley pitchers, man. It'll be strike one. And a punch foul as Clausen looks for it. Clausen not able to put it in the glove, and we'll have strike two, 0-2 on the foul ball. To Ortega. Ortega with a ground out, his last at bat. He was at bat for Premier West at the end of the third inning when the base was stolen in the pickoff to end the side. As this one swung on, and Ortega is struck out swinging off a dirty pitch by Hengis. And that's one away. So with the rules, 8-run rule after 4.5 innings or 5 complete. 15-run rule after 2.5 or 3 complete innings as we get Kyle Tooley. And the first pitch to Tooley will be ball 1 by Hangus. Zach Hangus. Pitch on the way. He'll find the plate. Brings up strike 1. 1-1. For Tooley, it was a line drive, his first at-bat. And Hangus delivers on the outside of the plate for strike 2. 1-2 to the shortstop. A swing, bounces out. Stensrud gets to it. No, it's going to roll past Stensrud. And our runner will stand at first, and Premier West with their first hit of the game. That'll take us to Vance LeConte.
Brings up the third baseman, number 4, Vince LeConte.
LeConte settles in, 1 out, 1 on. Here's the pitch by Hangus, and it's over the plate for strike 1. Mavericks are going to go to Mount Rushmore after the game today to have a free day, as this one's hit hard and high into left field, tracked down by Martin, and Martin puts it in the glove on the pop fly for the second out of the inning. Or Bridger Johnson, I apologize. Martin's the designated hitter. Bridger Johnson in left.
And the flyout brings
That'll
up
take us
number
to
11,
Joey
baseman,
D.
Joey
Camillus
D. Camillus.
with 2 outs and 1 on for Premier West. Hangus now with the stretch and set. And this pitch over the plate will bring up strike 1. Pitch on the way, swung on, bounces foul down the third base line, and we go 0-2 on the count to D. Camillus. He was struck out swinging his first at-bat. He steps in. Runner at first, Tooley steps away from first. Hangus with the spy, and now the pitch. And it'll bring up ball 1 as Clausen's got to dig for it. Hangus now with the pitch. And a roller. This time Long can get to it. He'll make the throw to first. No, Richardson runs into him. It's a high throw. And that will advance the runner to the third. They're going to go ahead and have him stop at third. So both Long and Richardson going for that ball, and Richardson running into Long will cause the error.
Brings up number 12, Marcus Burton.
Takes us to Marcus Burton now, with 2 out and runners on the corners for Premier West. Here's the pitch by Hangus, and it's upstairs for ball 1. For Marcus Burton, it was a fly out, his first at-bat, as he settles in. Pitch on the way. And it's over the plate for strike 1. One and 1 on the count. Hour and 11 minutes into the game. And we bring up ball 2, 2-1. Mavericks lead 12-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 12 runs off 9 hits. They have committed 2 errors. Premier West getting their first hit of the game. No runs, as this one will be over the plate for the strike to Burton to make it a full or an even count at 2 apiece. Tooley at third, D. Camillus at first. And a swing. This one's going to bounce out. Long will pick it up. The hop to second, and that will end the side. And that should be game off the 8-run rule.
That ends the fourth. No runs on 1 hit.
No runs.
There are 2 guys left on.
Off of 1 hit, and it is actually
it's 12
5 complete.
0,
Okay,
Missoula.
so we're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we'll have the top of the 5th inning, Mavericks leading 12-0. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Attention, all Legion baseball fans. The Missoula Prep Sports Network will be the exclusive video streaming provider for the Montana, Alberta AA and A Legion tournaments, July 18th through August 1st. If you know of a local business in your community that would like to support the coverage of the games, please send us an email and we'll get in touch with you. Join us live from Kalispell, Montana and Miles City, Montana, July 28th through August 1st for state championship drama. MPSN, Legion baseball fans, home for the 2018 Montana, Alberta state tournaments.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now, whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning, this is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half-price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network. I apologize for the confusion. I was looking at the wrong part of the sheet. It's 8 runs after 5, 15 runs after 3, and I had it's printed on a double line, and I was picking them apart. So we come to Stuart Long to lead off for the Mavericks in the top of the 5th inning. It's Cameron Abeda on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound for Premier West as he'll deliver ball 1 to start the inning. For Stuart Long, a single, a strikeout swinging, and a line drive as this one comes upstairs for ball 2, 2-0. The pitch upstairs brings up the ball. 3-0 to Long. So with Stuart Long at the plate, the 4, 5, 6 batter scheduled on the inning. Long, Johnson in the on-deck circle as Long will be walked to start for the Mavericks. And we go to Bridger Johnson. Long at first, Bridger Johnson at the plate, and Drew Stensrud in the on-deck circle.
Number 10, Bridger Johnson.
Here's the pitch to Johnson, and he'll take it for ball 1. 1-0. Johnson, a ground out, a single, and an error. His 3 at-bats today. And back outside for ball 2. 2-0. Johnson will take this one. 3-0 on the count. And that will send Verdugo out to the pitcher's mound to check in with his pitcher. Verdugo wearing a All-American gear as he's got red, white, and then some stars on the front of it. Premier with red and navy blue colors. It might even be black just the way looking at it. Here's the pitch to Johnson, and Johnson is walked to put runners at first and second. So back-to-back walks puts runners on for the Mavericks, and we come to Drew Stensrud with no outs.
Brings up number 5, first baseman Drew Stensrud.
So Stensrud settles in, and the first pitch is going to be upstairs for ball 1 to Stensrud. No outs, top of 5. Here's the pitch by Albeda, and it's back upstairs for a ball. And the first baseman will take a couple of steps in and encourage his pitcher. Baseball is a team game, folks, as with so many other sports, and it is a huge, as Stensrud will take a swing for strike one, it is a huge addition when you've got the support of your teammates behind you. And D. Camillus, the first baseman, showing that. Upstairs pitch takes us to 3-1 on the count. Runners at first and second, no outs for the Mavericks. And we'll get a full count at 3-2 off that pitch. Stensrud steps back into the box. Albeda with the step on the rubber, and now the stretch and set. Stensrud with a foul ball keeps himself going at 3-2. Thomas Martin in the on-deck circle. Bridger Johnson at first. Stuart Long at second. Stensrud with a check swing, and they're going to say he committed. That'll be strike three, and one out on the board. Takes us to the designated hitter, Thomas Martin, now for the Mavericks. And Albeda will step off of the rubber, and Martin will settle back in. And Martin with a foul ball will start him off with strike one. For Martin, a ground out, a single, and then was hit by a pitch. His last plate appearance. A swing brings up strike two. Martin laying off. Brings us ball one, 1-2 on the count. Runners at first and second step away, and the pitch on the way. Here's off the toe, and the runners will advance on the wild pitch. We go 2-2 on the count. Two and two to the designated hitter as he fouls this one back to keep himself going. Martin does at 2-2. Dayton Bay will come get it and head back to the Mavericks dugout down the first base line. It's Andrew Clausen in the on-deck circle. Pitch upstairs, and we get a full count at 3-2 now for Martin. Takes a moment, settles back in. Runners at second and third off the wild pitch. Albeda delivers, and Martin bounces it out. Picked up by the second baseman. The throw to first, and we've got two away. Runner will score from third. As Bridger Johnson advances to third, and the Mavericks now lead 13-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard with two outs. Takes us to Andrew Clausen, Andrew Clausen. I've got Parker Stevens still in there from when he was running for Clausen earlier. And the first pitch will be a ball to Clausen. Ball two. For Andrew Clausen, it was back-to-back strikeouts his first two plate appearances, and then walked his last. Johnson takes a step away from third. The pitch on the way, and Clausen will take strike one. 2-1 now to the catcher. Dayton Bay in the on-deck circle, bottom of the order for the Mavericks. Top of the fifth inning, Mavericks lead 13-0 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, as Clausen fouls this one back into Verdugo. And we're even on the count at two apiece. Two outs. Johnson at third. 2-2 on the count. And we get the pitch. Swung on, and Clausen will be struck out swinging. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Mavericks leading 13-0. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Run. No hits, no errors.
Did your computer go down? Don't worry. Mike's Print and Copy has computer rentals available until you can get your computer replaced. In addition to computer rentals, Mike's has self-serve copiers so you can take care of your printing needs at your time. Do you have large-scale printing that needs to be done? From high-tech blueprints to large quantities, Mike's Print and Copy is your print store. Stop in and say hi to Mike at their new location at 1605 South Avenue West in Missoula. Mike's Print and Copy, proud sponsors of the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Do you have a property you'd like to sell? Maybe you're looking for a new place to call your own. Well, you're in luck because the Kelly Touch is the local realtor for you. Whether small or large, the Kelly Touch would love to help you find your piece of Montana to call home. From Kalispell to Florence, the Kelly Touch has the experience to help you buy or sell property throughout western Montana. The Kelly Touch, your professional real estate needs met. The Kelly Touch is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN as we come to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's Bryce Barday for Premier West. So it's 6, 7, 8 scheduled on the inning as Zach Angus will deliver the first pitch of the inning from the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound for strike one. Angus's no-hitter broken up in the last inning as this one comes over the plate for strike two. 0-2 on the count very quickly to Barday, who was an infield fly his first at-bat. Mariano Guerrero will come to the plate after the strikeout for Premier West. And actually, they're going to bring up number 18 in that spot, Cameron Abeda. And the first pitch to Abeda will be over the plate for strike one. Bouncer fair down the third base line, picked up by Richardson. No, they're going to say foul as it rolled over the line at the last second. And will be 0-2. Good play by Richardson to come up and pick it up as it was bumbling its way down the third base line. So the pitcher for Premier West at the plate with an 0-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch. Swing. Right field. Frazier will run up on it, has it in the glove, and that is 2 away on the short pop fly. Takes us to Jackson McLean. Nope, that's number 19 at the plate now. And I don't have a number 19. So we'll have to add that in there. As the first pitch is over the plate for a strike.
Jake Evans.
That's Jake Evans. Evans will go 0-2 on the count. And that's a strikeout to end the game.
That's the ball game.
So the Mavericks get the win.
The next game here at Fitzgerald Stadium today.
Mavericks get the win.
Taking on Premier West. Keep cool, folks.
13-0 over Premier West. It would be 13 runs off of 9 hits, 2 errors, and 7 runners left behind. Premier West, no runs off of 1 hit, 3 errors, and 2 runners left on. So the Mavericks back in action tomorrow at 11:30. We'll have that up for you right here on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We'll talk to you Sunday morning at 11:30. Have a great rest of your Saturday, folks.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Missoula Sports.
What a rush!
MPSN's coverage of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness.
Always, always, always.
Tune in next time when the Missoula Prep Sports Network has coverage of your local sports heroes.
Well,